So I watched that movie, My Old Ass. Now I was really interested in this movie. I thought this movie was great. Like to me, the story is great. I felt invested in the main girl of this movie, and I think what this movie does a great job of it just really pulls you in. It when it comes to just having a lot of heart. It's to me it has some really funny moments, and you just really care about the main girl and so care about that. And this to me is one of the best coming of age movies I've seen recently, where it just pulls out your heartstrings and the main character is just so likable and positive that you just really connect with her character. Because sometimes, like for example, a movie like Ditto, which I liked that movie. I didn't love it. But sometimes with movies they write teenage characters in a way, or keep teenage characters in a way where they kind of come out like unlikable. But the main girl in this, I just found her character so likable. Like, well, but they did a great job of not making her unlikable. And Audie and the actress Aubrey Plaza, who I think she's a fantastic actress. Like, she's great every time I've seen her. And she was recently in the Access show, so I thought she was great as the villain Death in that show. And she's a very charismatic actor, which just brings just a lot of charisma to a role. And she's in the beginning of the movie, and then she's at the end. I think like the third act when she comes back up is to me just fantastic act from her. As like the third act to me has a great emotional moment because the whole plot of the movie is now they don't really explain like how like the main girl, the teenager girl, like she's going out with two friends. They smoke some weed, I believe. So they get a little trippy, and Audie Platt shows up while she's in front of the fire and she's tripped out. And they only explain like how that works, and the fact that she's like she's a future version of herself. Like she says, her future version is like in her 30s, 39, I believe. But I really buy that that's like a future version of the character. Like they don't explain how that works, and like she's in the middle chunk of the movie, but she's not like they have a character in the middle chunk of the movie where she puts her name on a younger version's contact list on her phone. It's called My Old Ass, which I thought was funny. But when it comes to actually being in the movie, she's in the beginning movie portion and she's in the end portion. Like I said, that ending of the third act of the movie really just pulled out my heartstrings. But the whole plot is that she like the one she tells me herself is stay away from Chad. And this is gonna be a spoiler review, so I am gonna talk about some spoilers. So if you haven't seen My Old Ass, go check that movie out and stop the video now. But she says don't stay away from Chad because like I'm thinking it's gonna go somewhere where maybe because they showed this main girl looks like she's in the girls and then she falls in love with this guy, and that's the guy's name is Chad, the guy that her older self told her to stay away from. And I was thinking, okay, maybe it's because like it ends in heartbreak between these two teenagers where they stay together for a while and they break up, or something like he does something really bad to her. Like I was thinking that's where it was gonna go, but where it goes, I actually loved. Where you found out Chad dies at some point, and it just has this great emotional moment with Audie Potter's character, the girl's older self. She's hugging Chad, and her younger self telling her that, like that moment with Audie Potter's acting in that moment, it just really hit me, and you really care about the characters. And one thing I really loved about this movie as a coming of age story is that it really does a great job of kind of like the themes it's shown with. It really does a great job of this getting you invested in the characters, but also I love the themes of the idea that when you're a teenager, when you're younger, you don't realize how much life can change in a second, and how when you're younger, life goes by so. When you get older, life goes by so quick. Like when you're younger, you feel like that time slows down. But when you get older, the older you get, life goes by quick. And I love that it kind of deals with that. Then where like stuff can change in a minute. As you get older, time moves by quicker. Because I felt like that when I've hit my 30s now. I'm 34, and time does feel like it just moves by quicker the older you get. And there's a great moment in the movie where Chad and her are talking, and he talks about like things you did when you were a kid, and you don't think about how that's the last time you're gonna do a certain thing, even small things. And I just think it really does a great job of just making you go like, yeah, you know what? When you don't think about that stuff, like things you do as a kid, and you realize, oh, that's the last time you're gonna do that, or just how much time goes by so much quicker when you get older. And I think what this movie also does a great job of is showing how, like, to appreciate the time you have with your parents. Because, when you're younger, you're a teenager, it's like, oh, you don't want to hang out with your parents too much. But this movie really, I think, does a great job of showing you how, you know, life changes in a minute. And to my opinion, it's always good to spend time with your parents when you can. Because at the end of the day, you know, anything could happen the next day. And I think this movie just does a great job of pulling your heartstrings as a coming of age story and making you really really touches on the fact of just how to spend time with your parents, with your brothers, your sisters, and how much that time is precious. So My Old Ass I thought was fantastic. Definitely a movie I would highly recommend check out, and just for me one of my favorite movies of the year. So that's my thoughts on My Old Ass. Until next time, movie fans.